as we were having lunch, sitting with a great group that asked a bunch of good questions, and I thought, one of the things that I shared with my table, I want to share with you guys, because as you can see, we're talking about now preparing yourself for growth. You see, here's the challenge that a lot of us run into, is that we say, okay, I want to increase my production, but then when you increase your production, you're not prepared to deal with the growth. Your systems, in other words, I was talking about my grandfather that I called Pop earlier, and he was a great racquetball player. Even on up into his 80s, he could play right-handed and left-handed. Great racquetball player. And he would just run me to death. And this was back when I was a college athlete and I was in great shape, but I'd always chase the ball. And if any of you have ever played racquetball, you got to go to where the ball's going. A great racquetball player barely moves, okay? But their opponent, they're all over the place, wearing a slick. Well, are your systems, is your method of organization designed to accommodate the level of business you are right now? Or is it designed to accommodate the amount of business that you want to grow into? What should the answer be? You got to prepare for the growth. You got to prepare for it. So we were talking, I said, all right, just imagine, Brian, just imagine, you and I go to a racetrack, okay? And here's a beautiful NASCAR that does 200 plus miles an hour. And we hop in the NASCAR and we take off. And you look at the speedometer and all of a sudden we're doing 100 miles an hour. Now, you probably don't regularly drive 100 miles an hour, at least I hope not.
No.
Okay, so all of a sudden you feel like, man, we're flying, Gordon, man, we're flying. And you're seeing the things passing by. And I say, Brian, come on, man. This goes way faster than that. We're on a track. It's safe. Go. Come on. So now we're doing 125 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, he's squeezing that steering wheel a little bit harder. Now, Brian, come on, man. This car's barely working. Now we're doing 150 miles an hour. He's never driven that fast in his life. And he's squeezing that steering wheel, and his blood pressure's shooting up, and he's so tense. And yet that car, it's not even working hard. It's not even working hard. Now, after a period of time of driving 150 miles an hour, before long, he's going to start to relax. He's going to start to get comfortable at that speed. And then he's going to bump the speed up, and he's going to bump the speed up. But you're going to go through those phases of anxiety where what you want to do is you want to pull your foot off. Come on. It's stressful. It's stressful. I'm feeling the anxiety, thinking about all the crazy things. I want to pull my foot off. And a great coach, which we try to be to you, a great coach says, Brian, do not pull your foot off. That's not the answer. The answer is press the accelerator harder. And let's prepare for the growth. Let's prepare for the growth physically. Let's prepare for the growth mentally. Because listen, as I talk about this subject with you guys, if you don't grasp anything else I'm trying to teach you, understand that all the things that you're claiming are the physical problems, that appraisal that came in low, that inspection report that had all this crap on it. The physical things are not the problem. It's mentally how you react to it. That's the problem. You've got to learn to mature, and you've got to learn to grow there. So as you're pushing ahead in your business, do not back down. One of my favorite quotes is by a race car driver named Mario Andretti. I don't know if you guys have heard of him before. But it goes like this. He says, if everything seems under control, you're not going fast enough. What if I told you that your goal in business is to get yourself into a state of feeling out of control? You know why you won't allow yourself to do that? Your ego. Your ego. Because when you are, by definition, out of control, then you're vulnerable. You could look like a fool. You could look stupid. You could look like you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you'll make some mistakes. Maybe somebody gets upset at you. And your ego can't deal with that because ego always wants to look good. If you'll learn to get your ego out of control and learn that your goal is to be like that race car driver, like Brian in that car. Get it up to 150. Yeah, the car will go 220, but right now 150 is blazing fast. So let's get used to that. And then let's learn to quiet your mind. Let's learn to control your breathing. Let's learn to relax. And then let's press it harder. That's our goal. Not to get to the point where I start to feel it, pull back. Start to feel it again, pull back. I just described many of your careers. Right? All right, so Joey, can I use a story of ours? I don't think I'll embarrass you too bad. So Joey Codner, by the way, guys, one of my salespeople, great guy, one of our best salespeople. And we were talking about preparing for the growth. And we were talking about the subject of getting organized. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? And so I'm trying to get Joey to get out on more appointments, get in front of more people. And so I asked him what I thought was a simple question. I said, Joey, how do you keep yourself organized? Where do you keep your appointments? And what did Joey do? We got to talk. You can only manage so many appointments in your head. And then, you're constantly worried, what am I going to forget? You got to have a way of organizing yourself. So hopefully you've taken my advice. What calendar are you using now? Oh, Lord, let's not go there. Google, thank you. So are your systems and method of organization based on the level of production you are or where you want to go? How easy is it for you to get overwhelmed? So do you have a consistent morning schedule? So here's the thing. If I was to randomly pick different people out of the audience, this one guy over here, he's doing 30 deals a year. The other guy over here, he's doing 50 deals a year. The other one over here, they're doing 100 deals a year. And I said, okay, is the person that's doing 30 working a third as hard as the person doing 100? Actually, here's the irony. They're probably working twice as hard as the person doing 100. And if I said, okay, well, you need to have a schedule. You need to keep your day organized. Well, this person doing 30, they have a schedule. They got a schedule that they follow to some degree. The thing is, you've got to look at the structure. Your structure changes depending upon what it is that you are trying to accommodate. Your habits in the way that you manage yourself. I said there's two things, guys. Two things that you have to learn to manage if you want to grow. Two things. Number one, your time. And number two, your emotions. You want to grow in your business? Learn to manage your time. Learn to manage your emotions. Your emotions will cause you to make poor business decisions. Your emotions will exhaust you. Mental fatigue is way more than physical fatigue. Just dealing with all those emotions. Oh my God. That appraisal came in 10,000 low. Oh God. So mornings are when you find and book most of your appointments. Be sure everything mentally and physically supports the proper mindset. If you're going to be productive, you've got to start off the day with the proper mindset. When you go into prospecting, you can't have a bunch of negative crap that you've dealt with up to that point. You're not going to be effective. Midday is when you want to attend appointments you booked. I teach my salespeople, to the degree that you can, try to keep your appointments in the middle of the day. Okay, to the degree that you can. There's always some exceptions, but here's the thing. If you learn how to ask for them to meet you in the middle of the day, and I'm going to show you a script here in just a second, I'm going to say 80% of the time they will. I mean, if somebody needs to go get a filling, get their teeth cleaned, go to a doctor, how many times are the dentists staying open till 7 o'clock at night? What do they have to do? They have to take off time during the day. Now, why do I want to keep those appointments in the midday? Because, as Steve was talking about earlier, those evening times are, we call them on our team, peak prospecting times. Those are the times to go back and reattempt your new leads, to reattempt your lead follow-up, to reattempt those people you couldn't reach earlier in the day when they're home. To the degree that you can, you want to do that. Bonus script. When they want to meet you in the evening, would love to meet you at 7 o'clock. However, that time is already committed. Is there any way we could meet during the day? Just ask. Hey, I'm already committed at that time. Is there any way that I can meet you during the day? I'm going to tell you, if you don't ask, you won't get. Most of the time, if you'll ask, they can do it. Hey, listen, the reality is most people are looking for a good excuse to take time off of work anyway. Am I right or wrong? Okay, so just ask. And if they say, you know what, I'm in a job that I just don't have any flexibility, or I have meetings all day long, there's no way I can do it. Then you have to decide, is the appointment worth going at that time of the evening? Make a business decision. But practice that dialogue right there. Evenings are for additional prospecting or lead follow-up and family time, at least 3 nights a week. This was, Dean, this was something you and I just started, isn't it? Stand up for just a second. If you don't mind. I want to talk about this. Could somebody hand Dean a microphone? Maybe? Yeah. So I coach Dean. He sells in New Jersey. And one of the things we talked about to increase your production was just taking some time in the evening and making those calls. Well, you have how many children? 3 kids, young. What's the oldest?
5.
Okay. So you can imagine what home life is like. Okay. And, yeah. And so when I brought up this idea with Dean, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay, but initially his mind went where many of our minds go. It's like, oh God, I don't want to spend 2 or 3 hours in the evenings prospecting. I don't want to spend all that time. I said, Dean, I didn't say spend hours. So now you do it pretty consistently. How many nights a week would you say you go back and you reattempt your leads?
3, at minimum 3 nights a week.
Okay. And realistically, be honest with us, how much time does that take you?
Well, the best part is that I'm only focused on the hot ones.
Yeah.
If I'm doing lead follow-up at night,
Yeah.
it's like, so usually around like 6:37 is now the couch time.
Mhm.
The movie goes on.
Yeah.
The kids are there, my wife is whatever. And then now, so I'm just focused on the hot ones. It's like 1 or 2 calls. If they answer, great. If they don't answer, then either leave a message or, whatnot. But
Okay, so it's just a couple, just a few.
yeah. And actually, to your point though, I'll just say this.
Yeah.
7:30. I couldn't believe this. 7:30 till 9 p.m. is the hottest time I've gotten pickup rates. I'm like almost at 100, like nearly 100% pickup rate at that time. So it's
how
crazy.
many additional appointments ballpark since we've been working on this for maybe 3 months?
Yeah, I mean, I usually go on at least 3 to 4 listing appointments a week at this point, but I would say that brought an appointment or 2 per week because of that.
Okay, and I mean, you listed a high percentage, right? So if you go on 2, we know you're going to take at least 1 and probably both.
Yeah, right. My
Okay,
conversion
and your average commission is?
To about 20,000.
About 20,000, and so if that gives you an extra listing a week, okay, 20 times 4 is 80.
Yeah.
For how much time in the evening? 3 nights a week?
It's 5
15,
minutes.
20?
5 minutes.
5, okay, exactly.
I mean, it depends if I get someone on the phone, then I'll go into it, and but yeah.
You guys get it? How many of you are playing it? Thank you. How many of you are creating this objection in your head? Oh, God, I don't want to spend all that time in the evening. I got a family. I got this. I got that. I got something else. Cut it out. Quit making excuses. You can either make excuses or you can make money. You can't make both. Pick one. Pick one. Quit fighting yourself. It's simple. It's simple. Are you following the 4-step morning checklist? Again, preparing for the growth. What is the 4-step morning checklist? Our mind is constantly working against us. Our mind is constantly fighting us. Our mind is telling us why we shouldn't be setting on more appointments, why we shouldn't take more listings, why we shouldn't do more business, because we're already out of control. Why do I want to get any further out of control? Well, the 4-step morning checklist is a simple technique that I want you guys to start implementing every single morning. And the purpose is to quiet that voice in your head that's telling you, oh man, you can't handle it anymore. You can't do it anymore. You need to back it down. Okay? Review your active listings. Active listings. Now, when I say review your active listings, let me make it clear what I'm referring to. Let's say you have 4 listings. I'm not wanting you to do a deep dive into each file. No, it's just an overview. Just glance at them real quick. Address. What do I need? This one needs a price reduction. I need to call this person today. Write it down. Don't take action yet. Write it down. You've got a notepad, okay? You've got a notepad, and you're writing down any action that you determine needs to be taken on your active listings. Next. Pending sales. So I've got 5 deals pending right now. Glance at them. What needs to be done? What action needs to be taken? Is there anything that needs to be done? If there is, jot it down. Don't take action, jot it down. Leads. What leads do you have today that need to be followed up on? Get them pulled together. Who do you need to follow up on today? And then finally, appointments. What appointments do you have scheduled, and what do you need to do? I've got a listing appointment for this evening. I need to get the CMA done. I need to pre-qualify. I need whatever. Okay? I'm showing a buyer. I need to get the appointment scheduled on the house we're going to show. Whatever. You jot it down. Then once you're finished, active listings, pending sales, leads, appointments, once you're finished, now you have a list of action items. Now what we do is we go back to our schedule, and your schedule is going to have certain items that are fixed, meaning it's the same thing every day, every day, every day. I start prospecting at this time to this time every day. I do this time to this time every day. But you're also going to have those gaps in your schedule. You're then going to take the action items, and you're going to look, number one, and say, can you delegate them? Is there somebody that I can pass this to? Okay? And then if you can't delegate them, but they still need to be done, place them in your schedule. What time do you have in the day? Yeah, I'm going to get this done between 1 and 2. Write it down. Put it in there. Okay, now, as you start your prospecting, and that voice starts to creep in and say, come on, man, you got more going than you're carrying more listings, you got more sales, you got more business than you've ever done, man. Just back it down. Take care of what you got. You can tell that voice, shut up. Shut up. I'm on top of it. I've got it under control. Because listen, would you agree? If you're on top of all 4 of those, you're pretty well on top of things, yes? So it gives you permission to keep moving forward. Again, I'm telling you, if you want to grow, if you are not feeling out of control right now, you are not growing. Feeling out of control is a good thing. It's a good thing. Why do so few people really break through to those high levels? Because they're not willing to accept that and deal with that. I've got to get everything under control. I can't deal with that anxiety. I can't handle it. Okay, fine. Figure out how to live on what you're making now. But if you want more, it's part of the process. What systems are you using for managing your appointments, Joey? Don't point to your head. If anybody points to your head, just go ahead and pull the trigger, okay? You've either got your Google Calendar, got your Apple Calendar, you got your portable planner, you got something that you're writing it down on. Okay, you got to get yourself organized. There comes a point, all of us have started here, because we only had 1 appointment a month. That's not hard to remember. Okay, but you got to have a system, thank you. Or your CRM. How are you keeping track of your daily priorities? Remember when I said it's different working versus just being at work? Okay, so how do we make sure that we're efficient throughout the day and we're accomplishing what we need to accomplish? Well, I keep on my phone, right here, my Google Tasks. Boom, right there, that's my list. And I have it every day. And I actually have multiple lists depending upon the category. Multiple lists. And whenever I have a break in my schedule, there is no downtime. I'm on my Google task. What's the next thing on the list? Go to work on it. Let me address that point for a second. What I said is not as simple as the way I made it sound. I said, identify it, go to work on it. That's not typically the way that we do things, though. Identify it, let's spend some time thinking about it, dramatizing it, playing around in our head before we ever finally take action. You ever noticed the day before you leave on vacation, how busy are those days? Like insanely busy, like, oh my God. I came up with a great idea for how to double your business overnight, and that is just keep booking appointments for vacations, then just cancel them last minute. Okay? But why are they so busy? Because we don't have the luxury of wasting time. We've got stuff we have to get done, so we have to take action. We've got to pull the trigger, or otherwise we're going to leave town with this hanging over our head, or I can't leave town at all. I got to get it done. Quit spending so much time thinking about and dramatizing things and get better at take action, take action, take action, take action. Just start. Put the body in motion and the mind will follow. Keep a notebook. How are you organizing your leads? Are your leads organized for growth? You have them in a computer, on your phone. How are you organizing yourself? If you're doing 5 deals and you want to get to 10, are your systems built for 10 or are they built for 5? When's the time to hire and delegate to an assistant? The answer is what? As soon as you can afford it. I've had people come to me that were brand new in the business and said, should I start off with an assistant? And my answer is, let's talk about your finances. If they got the money, the answer is what? Yes. Yes. So here's the test. Some of you are sitting here thinking, well, I want to hire an assistant, but I'm not sure when to do it. Here's our formula. Figure out how much you're going to have to pay that assistant. Let's say it's $60,000 a year, okay, which is $5,000 a month. Put 3 months worth of salary aside in a savings account. So $15,000 of salary in a savings account. Once you've got that money set aside, go hire the assistant. Now you've got 3 months to pay him. If you cannot get yourself productive and make it worth having that assistant in 3 months, then I guess you have to make a different decision. But you have 3 months, go hire the assistant. Okay, but hey, if you were doing work that you can get an assistant to do, that's all you're worth at that moment. Part of the growth, listen, I tell my team this all the time. I tell, Justin, validate me. What do I say? 100 deals is what? Easier. 100 deals is easier to do than 20. But it's because of leverage. Because listen, when I'm doing 100 deals, I'm involved in fewer activities when I'm doing 20. Okay. Plus, when I'm doing 100, I got stuff going. There's not a whole lot of downtime. I'm efficient. I'm effective. I'm moving. When I'm doing 20, it's do a deal, take a break. Do it, take a break. I'm not effective. It's like if I want to drive from here to Dallas and I drive for a mile and then I stop. Then I drive another mile and I stop. Eventually I'm going to get to Dallas. My gas mileage is going to be way worse. And it's going to take me a whole lot longer. That's 20 deals. 100 deals is hit 75 miles an hour, put it on cruise control, and go. You get it? So are you prepared for the growth? You've got to set yourself up to grow. All right, guys?